try and know, what is she going to say? You have no idea what she's going to say.
Yeah,
It's like you have no idea what you're going to say.
yeah, that makes me freeze up when I'm trying to talk to her, because I'm like, oh man, like, is this gonna be, am I gonna say this and it's gonna be bad? Like,
Yeah.
what's the reaction gonna be 5 minutes from now if I
Yeah.
say this thing or whatever?
Yeah. Because you're stuck. You said it. You said you freeze. You're stuck.
Mhm.
You're no longer like water. You're like an ice cube. It's like you're frozen.
Yeah.
It's like you're solid, right? It's because you're lost in the future. Whenever you're like lost in the future, stuck in the past, you're not in flow. You're stuck in the mind. That's why people say they're stuck in their mind, because what are you doing? You're thinking about the future. But if you
Yeah.
just relax and sink in and just feel that uncertainty. Don't try and resist the uncertainty. Don't try and think about how can I make things more certain by planning what am I going to say and then planning what she's going to say. All that, you're just imagining, because it's not real.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just come to accept, I don't know what I'm going to say. It's just that doesn't exist right now. An hour and a half does not exist from now. There's just this. So then it's just feeling, if you start opening up, you start feeling like, well, what basically could happen, or what you might be feeling right now is just coming to terms with that was the past, and that's gone. That's behind you. That's over with. That's dead. That's no more. And this future is not like planning this conversation. That's not going to be useful either. But what is here right now? What is the feeling that is here right now with you right now?
Uncertainty,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a little bit of anxiety.
Uh-huh.
Um, but I do feel a bit more accepting, I guess.
Okay. Now, can you be okay with that anxiety? Can you be okay with that uncertainty?
Yeah.
Now, just make it okay. Just feel it more. Like welcome that uncertainty even more. And just even like, just close your eyes. Just close your eyes and just open up to that uncertainty. And don't think about it. Just feel it. Feel it more and more. And just be present with it. And just be aware that that uncertainty is appearing in you. You are that space, that vast space that the uncertainty is appearing in. And just simply warmly welcome it. Allow it to be in you. Allow it to be experienced fully. And as you allow it, as you accept it, and as you're simply aware of it, you'll notice that you are much more expansive.
Yeah.
That this uncertainty doesn't really touch you. It's just an experience that's appearing on a screen, and it's not going to stay forever. It's going to fade. Don't think about wanting it to fade. Don't think about wanting it to leave. Just be present with it fully. And just feel this vulnerability. Just let go of all the guarding and all the defensing, all the protection. Just let go of all of that. where it feels like there's this nakedness, this innocence. That you're just simply accepting whatever is appearing in your experience right now. And you're okay with it. There's no judgment of what is right, what is wrong. There's no judgment, I shouldn't be feeling this, or I should be feeling something different. What you are feeling is what is. And as long as you are just feeling what is, you are not in resistance to it. As long as you accept what is, you are not rejecting this present moment. And you'll notice that when it's simply okay to feel whatever is appearing right now in this vast space that you are, when it's okay, when there's pure allowance, pure acceptance, then you experience it fully. When you're present to the experience, there's no resistance. There's no wanting things to be different. There's just a surrendering to this moment. And when you surrender to this moment, you notice that there's actually no more problems. You notice that nothing is missing. You notice that there's a contentment, a fullness, a peace that is always here. Just simply become aware of this fullness, this peace, this freedom, this contentment. And just allow yourself to relax and rest. That even in the experience of uncertainty, you are at peace. See that the uncertainty is experienced in you as peace. And the peace can never be touched by uncertainty. And this is the inner peace that you are. That whatever the uncertainty of life experiences happen, that this inner peace cannot be touched by it. When you are connected to this peace, when you found that this peace is at your core, you are centered, then whatever the winds of life, however they blow, however fast they are or strong the winds are, they cannot move you, they cannot shake you, because you're centered in your peace, you're centered in your stillness. And you just simply welcome whatever experiences of life to unfold. That the experiences of life are unfolding in you. And that all experiences are temporary. They'll come and go, but you are always present. Any feeling that's appearing, just allow it to be in this inner space. And see that you are unmoving, that you are not running from the feelings, that as this inner space that you are still, and it is the feeling that is moving through this stillness to be experienced fully. And just allow the feelings to move through you. Just like the clouds move through the sky is always still. The sky is unmoving, unchanging. But see that this uncertainty is changing. This uncertainty is coming and going. The uncertainty moves. All life experiences move. But you, as this vast, infinite space, are unmoving, unchanging. You simply just stay still, just like a lake being still, and let any of the debris or impurities just simply let them rise, float to the top to be seen. And as they're seen, they just simply vanish, they disappear. And as they disappear, you feel even more lighter, more cleansed. Just simply be present and allow anything to come and go. Keeping the mind aside, not thinking about what is the experience. Just simply experience what is. Don't think about what is. Just take a nice slow breath in. And on the out breath, simply let go even more. Another slow breath in. And relax even more on the out breath. Another slow breath in. And everything is okay on the out breath. One more slow breath in. And just accept everything on the out breath. And go ahead and open up your eyes. How do you feel now?
Pretty relaxed.
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah.
relaxed, pretty centered, pretty balanced,
Yeah.
pretty grounded.
Yeah.
You feel how like there's not this busyness where you're trying to get somewhere or go somewhere.
Hmm. I feel like there's also just less like tension, like
Yep.
physically and non-physically.
Yeah. Like mentally, the tension is left, as well as in the body, there's tension that's left. Just
Hmm.
simply just try and be aware of the body and be aware of what feels a little lighter or looser. Was there any tension that left your neck or your
Yeah.
chest or
Neck,
your stomach?
back, shoulders. I think I've been carrying like tension in like my shoulders and back. I've been feeling all like kind of like, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
contract. So it feels better.
So do you see how like you didn't really do any stretching and that tension left?
Hmm.
So you see how that tension is actually it's being stored in the body. But that tension is actually the mind as well. It's the
Hmm.
tension that's always present in the mind, that there's this pushing and pulling always, that this striving for things to be different. And when you're not trying to make things different, you're just accepting what is, then you're just relaxed, both mentally and physically.
Hmm.
And you
Hmm.
notice that now there's this, you feel like you don't want to go anywhere. You just feel like you're not striving, you're not chasing, you're not running,
Hmm.
you're not guarding, you're open, you're just here, you're
Hmm.
present.
Yeah.
And it's out of this openness that then everything's coming from. It's out of this openness. This is where it's like if you know, when you're wanting to be creative, it's this openness. Now your mind's relaxed. Now you can, creativity just comes from this openness. The mind is open, the heart is open, the body is open.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is with a practice like that, that's where now this starts to basically spread into all areas of your life.
Mm.
But you notice that you feel a little lighter now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could see like because you must have been holding on to something that's heavy. So obviously there's something that you've let go of.
Hmm.
Does anything come to mind that you let go of?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like all the scenarios in my head of like what I should do, what I could do, how
Yeah.
it might not work, how I hope it'll work. I hope I'll
Yeah.
do the right thing. I hope she'll say the so I hope she'll like hear the right thing, whatever.
Yeah. So
All
you've
that.
let go of worry.
Yeah.
When you look at it, let's say an hour ago or 2 hours ago or yesterday, all this strategizing what you're going to say, what she's going to say, planning what she's going to say, planning what you're going to say, playing out the kind of, it's like you're almost kind of playing out the future, playing
Hmm.
out scenario one, comparing that to scenario two. What if scenario three? shit, I didn't think about scenario 4. That's all worry. That's all anxiety. Anxiety only exists because of a future. So as you just simply just remain present, there is no future. That's why you're not thinking about the future. That's why there's no worry, because you're right here present. You're okay. You're accepting what is. And that's why there's this feeling like, yeah, like that's gone. Sometimes you don't know what's gone until like, well, like here, I just pointing at it. And then you go, yeah, like shit. You see, you still exist without, you see how you exist without the future. Right? You're in that meditation, there was no planning of futures or worrying of future. Even right now, there's no future. You're not being taken away. That's why it feels like you're just really centered and you're balanced and you're grounded here. And what's left is like what's gone. What you're not doing is what you usually do. And you're leaving this present moment, trying to get to a future outcome, a future expectation, a future goal, a future scenario. So it feels like your energy has returned back to its center. And that's why you feel more powerful now. You feel more like preserving your energy. You're not giving your energy away, because worrying is all about giving your energy away to that story. You're creating it. You're projecting it. So then you stop projecting the energy and you keep it. Yeah. And it's with that energy, when you have it here now in the present moment, you're feeling more this vitality. You're feeling more of this energy. You're feeling more alive. You're feeling just this fullness, because you're always giving it away usually. But yeah, the worry has dropped off. What about in the past? Are you?
I mean, I'm not thinking
were you clinging to a memory of it? Were you kind of no? Okay, because a lot of times like shame and guilt and blame, it's all based off of memory. It's all based off of the past. When you're kind of like, oh man, I fucked up, or you're ruminating over something, typically that drops off too, because when you're fully present, what you are right now, again, there's no past. So there's no like beating yourself up. You could only beat yourself up in the past, about the past. That kind of like self-destructive, kind of those self-destructive thoughts. You're such an idiot. Why'd you do that? And that sadness, it only exists in the past, because you're sad about something that you've lost. Sort of like there's a lot of like grief. Someone loses something. It could be something just even small, like losing her trust, losing her respect. So when you feel like you've lost something, then there's this feeling of this grief, but we don't really know what that feeling really is. It just feels like a lot of discomfort. You're like kind of holding on to something, and which is that memory, that trauma. Whereas just that memory is traumatic. You're like, fuck, how did that happen or whatever. But when you're present and you just come to this place of acceptance, that's gone. Like I said, it's over. It's dead. It's no more. There's just what is. What is this present moment. And that's where you feel that lightness, because there's no more worry and there's no more of that blame and sadness and guilt for what has happened, because it doesn't exist. You're seeing that experientially. That doesn't exist. What exists is just what is. And you're experiencing what is. And just in that meditation, you just experience what is fully. There's no resistance. Because if there was resistance, then you wouldn't have felt what is fully. Were you thinking about things in that meditation? No. So you weren't thinking. So there's no past or future. There's just the present, what is. And whatever was arising, were you running from it? No, because if you were running from it, that means you would have been creating thought. So that's how you know.
There was a couple times where I was thinking about the future for
Yeah. And did you feel how you just came back?
Yeah.
And that's the practice, is like when you find that the mind wanders, you just simply just come back. easy when you're just practicing by yourself is just coming back to your breath, because the breath is just, it's fully present, where you just come back to your body, like the sensation of your body. Your body's here now. It's not in the, it's the mind that wanders. The mind can go to the past and the future, but your body can't go to the past and future. The breath can't go in the past and the future. So when you find that your mind just wanders, just bring it back to your breath. And this is like, you don't need to be sitting in some lotus position. Like this could be all the time. Just even when you're driving, you're on the subway, you start off closing your eyes. No one cares. And then you just with one breath can bring you back to the present moment, essentially, to make you feel like this. And you just throw that throughout the day, which then helps. It helps just center, you just anchor into the present moment. When you find that you're worrying or dwelling over the past. But a lot of times when you have like these kind of like, well, like this meditation, you're like really feeling things. It's like that stuff just drops off. It's not to say you're not going to worry ever again. I'm not promising that. But what this whole situation, a lot of it kind of just dropped. Because that's why you feel so light. Right. And then if I ask you, well, do you want to pick up that worry again? Do you want to pick up the guilt? No, because you know how good it feels to just feel light right now. You didn't know that you're holding on to it. You didn't know that you're creating that heaviness. You only know that you are creating the heaviness now because you have the contrast. Because now you're like, wow, the hell, I didn't know that I was creating tension in my body. I didn't know I was creating this feeling of pulling and pushing in my mind. Because it's like your mind just feels like open and clear right now, right? Yeah. It doesn't, before it was like trying to battle a thunderstorm in there. It was like, no, the storm clouds are coming. That's what it was doing. Now it's just like bright blue sky, right? It's open. Because that's essentially, you've transcended thought in the meditation. When there was no thought, thoughts are like clouds. It's like being in an airplane and breaking through the clouds. And then what do you see? You're just like, whoa, the clouds are below you. You busted through the clouds and there's just empty sky. And it's bright. That's the sun's always shining. It's just when we're stuck in our thoughts, then we're experiencing like a gloomy day. Above the clouds, there's no such thing as a gloomy day. It's the thoughts that create that gloomy day. Right. And that's where just simply with that coming back to the present moment and then allowing just being okay and accepting whatever thoughts they come, but then they just stop coming. And that's where you've transcended that thought, like that thought for just that, whatever that little meditation there, however long it is. And you go, oh, whoa. But it's like you can be experiencing more and more of that easily. Right. And then it's just, you just kind of take from that meditation, like when I was saying, like you're that empty open space and just, you felt that, right? You're that empty open space and whatever's arising, if it's that thought or if it's a feeling or some sort of sensation, just allow it to be there. Right? It's just like the screen, your screen monitor is allowing this image to be here. Yeah. But it's never really like, it never like burned, this image doesn't burn a hole in the screen. Like it comes and goes. And that's what you kind of take away from the meditation, really, is it just starts transforming you, because then your entire life starts becoming more and more like that meditation where things are just coming and going and you're untouched by it. There's always this like knowing that it's just going to be temporary. It's just going to be experienced. Nothing lasts forever. But you know, in that meditation, what is lasting forever, you're knowing experientially what is unchanging. It's that awareness that you are, that's unchanging. That I is actually the awareness. That sense of I that you've had your entire life is not the I of being a person. It's the I of awareness. That it's the awareness that's unbroken.
Yeah.
It's the awareness that's not coming and going. Everything else is coming and going. It's the awareness that's the only thing that's not coming and going. Everything else is broken. The experience of eating breakfast is now then broken. Now you're not eating breakfast. Then you're eating lunch, or you're watching a movie, and then that's the end of the movie. Everything is broken. It's all temporary. It's coming and going. The awareness is unbroken,
Mm-hmm.
and everything is just an experience that's unfolding. But the awareness is not unfolding. It's stationary. The unfolding is a change, but the awareness is changeless. And that just kind of just experiencing that more and more, it just becomes more and more self-evident. And that's what just starts transforming your life. And you're just now untouchable by bad experiences. You're like, whatever, I welcome it. Good experiences, whatever, I welcome it, because you're transcendent of negative and positive. The negative and positive really has no effect on you, because peace is transcendent of positive and negative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But no, that's good. So is that like helpful for you?
Yeah, totally.